Starr Imachiapi, Washi Chimitoje Kushto. Si Chango Yatehmatahan, Minilazaha Elwati, Pilame Almedako Yapi Oyase. I said hello, my Lakota name is Brave Star Woman. These Lakota names are very special to us. They are given to us by our elders, by our community. They often describe who we are as a person. We also call it a spirit name. So again, mine is Brave Star Woman. My English name is Starr Chief Eagle. My last name, Chief Eagle, represents one of my ancestors who was a chief. That was his name, Chief Eagle. My family decided to use this as a last name and pass this on down throughout the generations. Now, I am a member of the Rosebud Lakota Sioux tribe. And when I say that I am Rosebud Lakota Sioux, I want you to think about it in the way that we say our city, our state, our country. They are subgroups of each other. That's the same thing with Rosebud Lakota Sioux. I want you to think about it this way. The overall group we're referring to as the Sioux. This is how we are known as the Sioux. And we're talking about the languages. There are 3 different dialects that are spoken in different regions. This is going to include Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota dialects of the language. There are smaller bands within each of these 3 dialects. The band in which I come from is called Rosebud or Sichangu. Again, Lakota is the name of the dialect, and the overall group is known as the Sioux. Now, one of the things that I wanted to mention to you all, this term Sioux that many of us aren't familiar with, is actually not the real name of our people. For so long, it has been someone else that has been telling our own story about who Native American people are, about our history, our culture, our way of life. I would like to go ahead and share our own side of the story here today. And it may be a little bit different than what you're used to, but it is going to be our own truth. So again, Sioux is not our real name. It's not what we actually called ourselves a long time ago. What we actually called ourselves instead was the Ocheti Chankowi, which means 7 council fires. This includes all of the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota people. So thank you all very much for allowing us to share a part of our culture with you. I live right here in Rapid City, South Dakota. I ended my greeting to you all with Midako Yapi Oyase. I greeted you all as relatives. I said, welcome all relatives. Midako Yapi Oyase. Our entire culture, our entire way of life is based upon the belief that we be good relatives to each other, that we treat each other like relatives. The same kindness, same warm heart, same helping hand, same respect. Traditionally, nobody was left out within our people. Traditionally, there were no orphans amongst our people. So there would always be someone there to stand up, take that responsibility, and fulfill that role amongst the people. So greetings to all relatives. Thank you all. Now what we are going to be doing here today is sharing a few different dance styles with you all. We are going to be sharing both the men's grass dance with you all, and we are also going to be sharing a few hoop dances with you all. Now we're coming up on a very special day. It's going to be Native American Day, in which we take a pride with our culture. We take pride with our history, our people, who we are. We want to represent ourselves in a good, positive way, and we do want to speak on behalf of the truth of our people. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but our entire culture, many of our dance styles, our ceremonies, our songs, to practice them was actually made illegal in the United States in the late 1800s. And moving forward, entire generations of Native American children were sent to these boarding schools where they were stripped of their indigenous identities and they were meant to be assimilated into American society. So it's not considered a good thing to be Native American at that time. Native American people were pushed to the point of extinction. And since then, we have worked to reclaim our culture, reclaim our identities, and work to regain our rights of who we are, express that in a good, positive way. Now, this is a lot of negativity. This is a lot of historical trauma that has happened to Native American peoples. We definitely don't want to stay within this trauma. We don't want to stay within this negativity. We do want to move past this in a good, positive way. We do want to work towards positive healing. Now, I believe the first step in doing that is to educate ourselves about what has happened. So then we can learn from this experience and we can understand each other better as a people. We can understand why Native Americans are the way that they are in today's day and age. We can understand the conditions. We understand each other better, then we can work forward. We can move past this. We can work past this together through unity, through positivity. So again, we are trying to represent our people in a good, positive way. We are trying to speak on behalf of the truth. And we definitely don't want to stick within that negativity. We definitely don't want to stick within that historical trauma. We want to move past that. We want to heal. But in order to do that, we have to think about what has happened. So what we like to go ahead and do is we like to go ahead and start us out here with sharing an older style of dance with you all. This is going to be the men's brass dance. We actually do have a very special guest with us here today. We have Antwan West, who is an 8th grader at North Middle School. He is 13 years old. He is representing the Cheyenne River, Lakota, the Ocheti Shakolin people. Every Native American dance style, it does have a special meaning. It does have a purpose. There is history there. Be sharing a little bit of this cultural knowledge with you all here today. Now this men's brass dance, they say that they would come out before the people and they would do a cleansing of the area. They put down little offerings of sage, sweetgrass, tobacco, cedar. They sprinkle that on the grounds and they make prayers. They make good positive thoughts, make good wishes for the people. They want the people to be taken care of. They want them to be safe. They want them to be healthy. Then when they got done doing this cleansing of the area, this grass dance society would go out and they tried to help all these little wishes, all these prayers, try to help them in making them to come true. If maybe a campsite, they needed help setting up their camp. Maybe a campsite needed help gathering their firewood. Maybe there was a family that didn't have no food. Well, the grass dancer might step in there and they might help those people out and give back to the people in this way. So again, men's grass dance was meant to help the people. It was meant to give back to the people. You're going to watch as the movement of this grass dancer, he's going to symbolize the flattening down of this grass. The swaying movements of the dancer is going to represent the grass that we have here on the plains. He's going to have some fringe that's hanging from his regalia, going to represent the grasses that we have here on the plains. So ladies and gentlemen, who we have here, this is Antwan West, and he is going to be doing some men's grass. Especially into the regalia, it can take many weeks, sometimes months, even years sometimes to complete certain parts of our regalia. What I want us to realize about Native American peoples is that we have had a significant cultural loss within our people. Not every Native American family knows its dance style. Not every Native American family knows the songs, knows the language, knows the history, knows the culture. So that responsibility often rests on each individual's shoulders to learn that. And not only Native people's responsibility to learn about Native culture and Native people, but it's everybody's responsibility. There's so much incorrect information out there about Native American peoples. So many stereotypes out there, so many misconceptions out there. What I would recommend to you all, if you're here in Rapid City, South Dakota, is we have a very high percentage of Native American peoples right here in this area. They make the perfect resource for learning about Native American peoples, for learning about the truth about Native American peoples. So I encourage you all to act, not assume about Native peoples. Don't trust what you see on those Hollywood movies. as they portray us to be the stereotypes of people of the past. We're not a people of the past. We do carry on our traditions on to the next generations to come, but we are a living, breathing culture as well. We do adapt, we do evolve, we do change as we move forward in life. So we do have this traditional side of our culture, but we also have this contemporary side of our culture, and both parts come together, and that represents who we are in today's day and age. So grass dance is just one representation of our culture, and the way that we express that in a good, positive way. Now what I'd like to talk to you all about now is going to be the hoop dance, the story, the meaning, the representation, the history of this hoop dance. Hoop dance is actually one of the more rare styles of dance. If you were to go to a powwow, a gathering, a celebration, it would not normally be something that you see at these powwows. If I were to go to a powwow, I may be the only one there, or my family may be the only one there doing the hoop dance. Very rare style. There are different tribes that practice the hoop dance. They do have their own history of the origin of the hoop dance, how it was brought to their people. I would like to share the origin with you that I was told about the hoop dance and what it represents to our own Lakota people. Now, for our people, we believe that the symbol of the hoop has been with us for as long as our culture, as long as our people have been here. The symbol has been among us. The symbol has represented something to our own people. Symbol of the hoop. The hoop can be represented in different things in nature, from the sun to the moon, to the earth, to the shape of the nest, to the base of the teepees. They're all going to be representing this circle. To be a very positive symbol represented within our culture. It's going to represent healing. It's going to represent unity. It's going to represent balance. Well, the first hoop in which that we were gifted with, the first hoop in which that we saw in nature long, long ago, started out with the creation story of our Lakota people. The creation story of our Lakota people is that we believe long time ago, our people were born from the earth. Just like a mother gives birth to her child, it said that the earth gave birth to Lakota people at one of our 7 sacred sites in the Black Hills of Mahasapa is called Wind Cave. When our people came to this world, they went up on a hill to take a better look at their surroundings. They looked up and they saw Ate Makia, Father Sky. They looked down, they saw Unchimaka, Grandmother Earth. They saw all different walks of life, from the 2-legged, the 4-legged, the winged, the rooted. They saw a balance that existed in nature that we were now a part of. What we have in common with all the different creatures in nature, all the different animals, even the plants, what we have in common with them is that we need the earth and the sky to survive, and we need our environment to survive. We recognize that we are dependent upon it and we are connected to it. So we feel that it is our responsibility to take care of our surroundings the best way we can, maintaining that beauty of nature so it can be here for many, many generations to come. The first hoop that we saw a long time ago that reminds us of this is it brings together the earth and the sky, also known as the horizon line. The horizon line is in every direction, 360 degrees. It is behind these buildings, it's behind the trees, but it is all the way around us, making this circle, making this hoop, following us wherever we go, constantly reminding us of this balance that exists in nature that we are a part of. If we are going to hunt the buffalo, we're not going to take more buffalo than we need. We're going to try to use every part of that buffalo, then we are going to thank that buffalo. It is about that respect that we have towards nature. It is about that respect that we have for one another. Not only the respect between humankind, but the respect that we have towards all of our surroundings. This is what is represented here in this hoop dance. It's going to represent all different walks of life. It's going to represent that connection, that balance that exists in nature that we are a part of. It is a storytelling dance. We're going to represent such things as an eagle, butterfly, flowers. It's going to represent that connection between ourselves and the world around us. We do have 2 hoop dances for you here today. The first one is going to be done by Antwan West. He has been hoop dancing for a little over a year now. He is relatively new to the hoop dance. We do want to keep encouraging, especially indigenous peoples, when they reconnect with the culture, when they pursue that themselves, take that responsibility upon themselves to do these dance styles, to sing these songs is something very important. They're doing their part to help carry our culture on to the next generation to come. We do want to encourage that. So he is going to be sharing his own story with you all here today, representing the
himself as a young man here today, it's going to have its own meaning for him. But to you all, it might take on a whole new meaning. But as long as it gets interpreted in a good, positive way, it is more about the positive feelings that it brings. It is more about this balance, more about unity, more about positive feelings. Supposed to bring good, positive feelings to the people. Supposed to put smiles on our faces, make us feel better about our day. We feel that when we are doing our dance styles, we feel that when we are singing our songs, we are giving something to the people. We are sharing those good, positive feelings with the people. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and have Antwan West share his group dance today. Lakota Biocheti Shakawee people. Lives right here in Rapid City, South Dakota, and is an 8th grader at North Middle School. I do encourage you all, any other dancers out there, any other singers out there, take pride in who you are. Take pride in your culture. Share that with those around you. Dance like there's no tomorrow. We do have one last thing we're going to be sharing with you all. I'm going to be sharing my own hoop dance with you. How my family got started with the hoop dance is this is actually something that was shared to my father. When he was 13 years old, he picked up the hoop dance. He shared this with my older siblings who passed this on to me. And now I feel it is my own responsibility to help carry this on to the next generations to come as well. Now this is something I've been performing my entire life. I've been hoop dancing for almost 26 years, and I'm 26 years old. So yes, my entire life I've been doing this. I started hoop dancing from before I could walk with my first hoop, and I slowly worked my way up. I'll be dancing with over 20 hoops for you guys here today. Now, it is not about how many hoops you dance with. It is about that story in which you're sharing with those around you. I'll be sharing a very special story with you all here today. This is going to represent my own life. When I pick up my first hoop, this is going to represent myself being born. The animals, the shapes, the creatures in which I make with my hoops are going to represent the different stages of my life. And the last creation that I'm making with all my hoops is going to represent the person I am becoming and the goals I am pursuing in both my education and my career. I do travel all around South Dakota, schools, camps, museums, hospitals. Wherever I am invited, I will go and represent our people in a good, positive way. I do pursue this in my education. I do have my associate's degree in Lakota Studies from Lakota College. I just received my bachelor's degree in American Indian Studies from Black Hills State University. And now I'll be moving on to my master's degree at Lakota College in Lakota Leadership. This is something that I have a passion in. This is something that I love to do. So this is what influences my everyday life. This is something positive for me. I believe this is my passion. This is my role. This is my responsibility. Is I want to build positive bridges between natives and non-natives through education, through sharing, through understanding. I want to represent our people in a good, positive way, and I do want to speak on behalf of the truth of our people. I want to be a resource for the people so they can learn the truth, so that we can work past these historical traumas, so we can work together towards balance, towards unity in a good, positive way. Again, hoop dancing is about that positive message, is about healing, is about unity, is about balance. So this is one of the goals that I have for my life. I will continue to learn more about our indigenous peoples. I will continue on in sharing this with those around me. So again, this is going to be the last and final thing that we'll be doing. Now, I suppose that you guys have started to maybe interpret the different creatures, the different shapes that we have made out of these hoops. I wanted to share just a couple of them with you so you can start to look for them, especially throughout my own hoop dance as well. Teaching you the Lakota words for each of these different creatures. I'm going to be representing 4 of them here. I want you guys to keep your eyes open for. The first one I want you guys to keep your eyes open for throughout my hoop dance is going to be the buffalo, or as we call it, a tatanka. Keep in mind that this is Lakota language. This is what we call it, is a tatanka. But you go somewhere else, another indigenous nation, they may have their own language. They may have their own word for the buffalo, if they even have one. But for us, this is a tatanka. So that's one to keep your eyes open for. We are the Puke Oyate. We are Buffalo Nation. As Lakota people, our entire way of life was based upon that buffalo. That is why we followed it from place to place. Everything we needed, from our food, clothing, shelter, we believe we could get everything from that buffalo. That is why our entire way of life was based upon it. But for this next creature, I want you guys to keep your eyes open for, is going to be representing the eagles, and which is a very special animal, very special creature to our Lakota people. We actually are given the eagle feathers, the eagle plumes, as an honor, just like with our Lakota names, given as an honor to us. Sometimes for the good deeds that we do for our people, sometimes they honor us in that way. Maybe we just graduated high school, maybe we just graduated college. They may honor us with these eagle feathers. Keep in mind, when you see the chief's headdresses, all those different eagle feathers, each one of those eagle feathers is going to represent something they did for the people, those good deeds that they did for the people. So they have a special meaning to them. Only certain people have the right to carry them, have the right to dance with them. So for the eagles, represented in our Lakota language, what we call them is a wambli. We call them a wambli, okay? There is a town in South Dakota called Wambli, is on the Pioneer Reservation. So I encourage you to take a look at a map, see if you can find them. Wombly in English, that means eagle. Another one, keep your eyes open for, is the butterfly. A lot of times our young ladies will use that as inspiration for their movement. The grace, the beauty of these creatures will inspire them in their own dances. So we call this butterfly in our Lakota language is we say kamimila. Okay? Kamimila. And then one more creature I want to share with you all is going to represent a creature that used to live throughout this surrounding area. It did get pushed out, it did get hunted. They are now usually no longer wild here. There are other creatures that are included in this that did get pushed out of this area. But we do have landmarks named after this creature. We do have stories about this creature. So people forget that we have this here. Our local people, we remember. We lived in harmony with these creatures at one time. So I want you guys to think about what kind of creature this could be. What I'm talking about is going to be the bear. And what we say in the Lakota language for bear is we say mato. We call it a mato in our Lakota language, meaning bear. We do have landmarks named after bears. The story is about these bears. We do remember them. We're slowly starting to see the wildlife returning back to their homelands, returning back to their areas. Our Lakota people remember that. Matos used to be part of our culture. We used to have them right in this surrounding area, the bears. So this just gives us a few different creatures to look for throughout the hoop dance, a few different things to keep your eyes open for, get that imagination, get that creativity going. I'll remember myself and Antwan, we represent the Lakota culture here today. That is only a few different tribes, a few different local tribes in our own area. There are over 570 some federally recognized tribes in the United States. There are even more tribes than that are not recognized or state recognized. Each one of these different tribes, they might have their own languages, their own culture, their own beliefs, their own customs. There is a misconception that Native American people aren't even here anymore. There's a misconception out there that Native American people that we are no longer here, that we are extinct. I will get asked this question all the time. Are you a real Native American? Or they'll ask me, they'll say, I didn't even know Native American people still exist. This is a reality. So it's one of those things that we have to work to change as a people. We have to work to change as a society, is a representation of Native American peoples. We have to represent them not only as the people of the past, because we do keep alive our traditions, but again, we are a living, breathing culture. We are still here today. We represent our people in a good, positive way. We take pride in who we are. So I am here, ladies and gentlemen, I am representing my own tribe. I'm representing the Sichangu, or the Rosebud, Lakota of Yocheki Shankoli people here today with my sisters. Again, my name is Starr Chief Eagle. I am 26 years old, and I live right here in Rapid City, South Dakota.
for allowing me to share part of our culture here with you today. Again, Antwan West is the young man that you met. And my name is Starr Chief Eagle. Thank you all, and Doug Charlotte, see you again.